Chris Scalzo here with
Matt Howell.
On this episode of The First Run, Matt and I are going to discuss the latest from Steven Spielberg, and it's about aliens and stuff. It's Disclosure Day, featuring Hollywood it boy Josh O'Connor, Emily Blunt, and it's about a couple of folks drawn into a conspiracy involving extraterrestrials, the government, and you. And then I'll close out the show with the big releases on physical media. So that'll be that. That'll be fun. So sit down, folks. Keep a lookout for the animals out there and prepare to be awed or gently rocked to sleep, possibly even annoyed. Here is a clip from Disclosure Day.
What did you steal?
Secrets. The data they paid me to protect.
Are they people?
No.
Good morning, Kansas City. Let's take a look at today. Today is today's.
Do you understand what she's saying?
I hear it's gibberish. I can't understand it.
And I can.
What's happening to me?
People are starved for the truth.
I'm a part of it now. I'm just sorry they made you a part of it too.
You too, Matt. You're complicit. What is Disclosure Day all about?
All right, so the movie opens. It's we're on the brink of World War III. Daniel Kellner, who is a cybersecurity expert, he steals a bunch of files and drives that basically detail how this company called Wardex has all of this recovered alien technology, and essentially is a treasure trove of proof that aliens exist. Across the country, a weather reporter, or a meteorologist on a local news show in Kansas City, as you heard, Margaret Fairchild, played by Emily Blunt. She somehow develops the ability to speak in languages that she's never spoken before, as well as gives her kind of like latent psychic abilities, like reading people's emotions when a cardinal flies into her house. And then obviously in the clip you heard, she kind of reveals that capability in talking in a secret alien language. The two of them hook up. They may or may not have a...
Well, they don't hook up.
Thank you, Chris. No, they don't hook up.
Yeah.
They get, yeah.
You know what? I lost my ooh la la drop, and I have not been able to find it. I don't know what happened to it. It makes me sad.
I'm sorry.
Is this a good replacement for the ooh la la? Let's try this one.
Oh!
No. Well, kind of fits the context.
It kind of fits. Kind of fits a little bit.
All right, go ahead, continue.
Yeah. Good. So anyway, they may or may not have a connection that goes back much deeper, and they basically try to stay one step ahead of Wardex and the governments and everybody trying to get all of this secret stuff back in order to, spread the truth, man.
That's right, Matt. So I'm really proud of myself for resisting the Steven Spielberg joke, and I think you should be proud of me as well for doing that. But let's see. So Steven's last run of films, all right. So I've seen everything here but the BFG. Have you ever seen the BFG?
No, I have not seen the BFG. I've seen bits and pieces of it.
All right. You know what? I haven't seen Tintin either.
I didn't see that either.
But I've seen everything else in the Gentleman's Oeuvre.
Okay.
And I gotta admit, what was his last great film, you think? Is it Lincoln? Is that great?
For me personally,
Munich,
it's probably Minority Report. Minority Report, I think, is the last great film. I think I enjoy War of the Worlds. I like it. I don't think it's necessarily great. I think it's very good, but I don't know if it's great.
Well, anyway, Steven's back. And I got to say, I think this probably gets, for me, as close to the halcyon days of Steven Spielberg as we've gotten in quite a while. I don't
Sure.
know if it's his going back into the alien well is what helps him kind of recapture some of that Spielbergian magic. I think there are just some really great kind of classic moments of just his trademark filmmaking, and I appreciate it. It is basically one long chase film too, which can be kind of fun, though it is 2.5 hours long.
Hmm.
But Matt, how did Disclosure Day work for you? Was it a rollicking adventure? Did at some point you get angry at some parts like I did, and other times you're like, "Wow, this is really great."
Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I would say it's an inconsistent film, right? So I think when Spielberg is on and you get a bit of that magic, like it's really, really on. And you can see that he really has it into him. And I think ultimately Spielberg is a genre director. He's at his best when he's directing genre films, right? Whether that is old school adventure films or science fiction films or monster films, those kinds of things. Those are him at his best, right? And I think it's a bit of a misnomer. I wouldn't say that I think Chris is right. I think this is more of a throwback 70s espionage / chase film more than it is an alien, like, follow up to Close Encounters type of thing. I mean, the aliens in the sci-fi elements are there, but they're in the background for the most of the film, right? And they're not really the driving force other than being the kind of MacGuffin that causes all of the action to kind of move forward, right? So there is that. But I mean, ultimately, I think it's got parts that, like, it's a little overlong and they've probably been cut for time, but who's going to tell Steven Spielberg that he can't include what he wants to include in a film, right? And I think ultimately this film is, while not his best, is pretty good. And I think it kind of highlights, especially as this thing kind of comes to a close in the message of the film, that he's ultimately a hopeful and positive director, which I think is nice in our current kind of climate and times to have something that's at least maybe a little optimistic.
Is it? I think part of the issue might be that I'm a little too jaded at this point. I agree with a lot what Matt's saying here. It's the most Spielbergian film I've seen from him in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like the last gasps of greatness, I feel, right? The 40-year-old pitcher who's still got the no-hitter going, right? He still got it, even if his fastball now only tops out at like 92, 93. And I'm 100% in on the message of the film, right? Empathy I feel has always been our greatest strength as a people. And I think the couple of scenes where we see like the mistreatment of the aliens is truly like emotionally unsettling. I was really upset by it. But I think part of the challenge I have is that he kind of shies away from the term torture, right? Even he doesn't say it, even though that's clearly what's happening to them. And I think that's purposeful. And I think that's kind of my central critique of the film. He continuously walks us up to the edge of making a grand statement about just humanity and ethics and, again, empathy. And then he kind of meekly backs away from it every time. Right? If you're trying to tell us that we all need to come together, when we need to coalesce around something greater than just ourselves, great. I think that's a great message. And I was like, well, am I right about this? I go, yeah, no, I am right about this, because even the film's climax, not just a scene, but the last goddamn word in the film before we cut to black is Emily Blunt's character saying, listen. And we need to listen to each other, right? Not just to talk to each other, not to talk past each other, but it's deeper than just conversation. Like, listen to the world around you. Listen to your neighbors, your town, your city, your country, or the other country, right? And just the entire world. Unite and engage. Don't turn a blind eye. Reject conspiracy, which is a big seed of the film as well, right? And embrace truth. And then, it is freeing, even though it may be scary, it may be terrifying, but in the end, the truth will out, and then we're all better off for it. But the problem I have is that Spielberg, I feel like, is looking at this kind of mythic past version of this country that I'm not sure ever really existed. And I think it's exemplified by his use of a local news anchor, right? We go with Emily Blunt, who's a weather person who wants to be like the weekend anchor. And I think he's putting too much stock in kind of the locality of it all. even though they do expand out to the local networks. But then part of me thinks like, well, how many people are actually watching their local networks news at this point? And he does engage too with like, well, how do we know it's not AI? But I don't think he engages kind of enough with any of that. He's more concerned with making his grand message, but I think it falls, unfortunately, in the end, a little flat for me. And that's just my big struggle. With the technical stuff, listen, it looks fantastic. It's really nice to see a properly lit film. I love seeing John Williams coming back too to work with Spielberg. There's some classic moments in that score as well. And I think it offers a lot, but it's not top tier Spielberg. And I think he just undercuts his message a bit here. And also too, I struggle a bit with Kep's script. I think it's a little clunky at times. I feel particularly bad for Coleman Domingo, who has got to deliver some really truly corny lines sometimes with conviction and verve, and he mostly sells it, but it's okay. It's enjoyable enough. I'm glad to see the season of Josh O'Connor continues unabated. The man continues to get work, and I think continues to just dish out just fantastic work. I think Blunt's okay in this as well. You know, it's fine. It's enjoyable enough.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a whole lot more to say about it. I don't think Chris is wrong. You know, I think there is maybe a certain set of, rose-colored glasses, but maybe of somebody who's lived through some of the most turbulent times in our history, right? I mean, and we've come through those times, and yeah. I guess maybe there's nothing wrong to say that this will get through this too. I mean, it's definitely beats doom scrolling on Reddit like I do all day long, right? And just hearing all the terrible things that are right around the corner and how we're all like dead for any number of reasons, whether that's aliens or climate change or, food collapse or World War III or AI coming to kill us. Like, I mean, there's just so many things to be concerned about. But I try to think about, when you see stuff like that, it's just like, well, they've been talking about stuff like that for my entire life, right? It's just that the specifics have changed, but there's always doom right around the corner, no matter what it is. So, I don't begrudge him his optimistic. Maybe it's naive. Maybe I'm not completely on board with it, but you know what? If he can get in that space and he's willing to tell us film that says those kinds of things and kind of is willing to put that out there, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, fair enough. I could go on for another 20 minutes about that, but yeah. That's not what the show's about. But I think it's fair game because clearly that's the message he's trying to send with this film. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, fair enough, Matt. Any, I guess I was asking any other thoughts on Disclosure Day, but I think you've nailed them for you there.
Yeah.
Colin Firth, who I enjoyed as well. He was probably my favorite performance in the film with Firth as our kind of sorta bad guy who thinks, he's doing what he's doing for what I think he thinks are the right reasons. That he's probably my favorite performance in the film. So, yeah. What are you going to give it, Matt?
I think I'm going to give it a B-.
I'm at a B. Look at that.
All right.
That's funny because you sound a little more positive about it than I did. And I agree.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't think that the problems that I had with the film weren't really about the message and the kind of delivery of it. I think it's more the delivery of it in some cases, and it went a little long. But
it does run a bit long. And I feel, too, that I would entirely be Wyatt Russell in this film. I think that's who I would be. Mm-hmm. Like, seriously concerned that my partner has gone insane, that something is wrong with them.
Sure.
Right. But, yeah. Yeah. Good.
All right. Great. Wonderful.
All right. I feel like I don't know how to end it. Disclosure Day is currently in theaters. If you had a chance to see it, we'd love to hear from you. Feedback at thefirstrun.com. Matt, let's talk about what's coming up on physical media this upcoming Tuesday, June 23rd.
You're under arrest, Reno.
You talking to me, Marshal?
Your name's Reno, isn't it?
Look, Marshal, I don't know what kind of town you're running here.
This isn't my town.
Well, I wouldn't know. See, I just rode in. I'm gonna wash down some trail dust, and... All right, Marshal, what do you say I done?
don't remember me, do you?
No.
When you hang a man, you better look at him. Don't go for that gun, Reno. I need you alive.
Clint Eastwood stars in Hang 'em High, a good, not great film, but still entertaining enough, being released in 4K this upcoming Tuesday by Kino Lorber. Includes a brand new 4K restoration, Dolby Vision HDR presentation of the film, and a new audio commentary featuring filmmaker and historian Steve Mitchell, as well as the archival commentary by Lem Dobbs and Nick Redman. Are you a Hang 'em High fan, Matt? I know you like your westerns, you like your Clints.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I mean, I think it's spot on. It's good. It's not great.
Yeah. So, all right, let's count them down then, and let's get out of here. Number 5.
Number 5?
I'm going to go with Brainstorm Media is releasing Dark Horse. Todd Solondz' film about a romance that blooms between two people in Arrested Development, an avid toy collector who is a dark horse of her family and a depressed woman on the rebound. It's nice to see some Solondz stuff getting released, counting it down to 4.
4.
Criterion Premieres. This is their kind of side label that's not officially part of the Criterion Collection. Magellan, featuring Gael Garcia Bernal, is about the portrayal of Ferdinand Magellan and Barbarossa's 1517 marriage in Seville, focusing on their brief time together before his departure on the Spanish Crown's expedition. Includes a Meet the Filmmakers featurette. Matt, I lost my stuff. Where is it? Here it is, 3.
Get 3 coffins ready.
Huh?
Criterion is releasing a pair of films from John Waters. Desperate Living with a brand new 4K restoration, and Hairspray, also getting a 4K restoration, both supervised and approved by Waters himself. And it looks basically like a whole bunch of ported over commentaries, featurettes and stuff from those films. But if you want to pick those up in 4K, now you can.
Well, you two lovebirds take it easy, okay?
Matt, if you're a Jowl fan like me, Celluloid Dreams is releasing Black Belly of the Tarantula. A serial killer has Rome on the edge, paralyzing his victims and proceeding to slice them open before their own eyes. The sadistic maniac must be stopped. New 4K restoration, the camera negative, HDR presentation, whole bunch of new stuff as a new commentary. They also included a new English trailer and double feature TV spot, an interview with the director, Paolo Cavara's son, Pietro, and then a whole bunch of other new interviews as well. And then I guess, Matt, did I choose this for the 1? I guess I did. This is 1.
There can be only one.
Julia Ducournau's Alpha, being released by Neon Rated here in the States. Only available as a Blu-ray. A film, Matt, that I think we both thought was good, not great, with though I think a very powerful and fantastic ending. But if you order the Curzon UK disc from like your Grindhouses, your Diabolics, your Orbit DVDs, they're putting out a 4K. So if you were a fan of the film, you can get the 4K, which should be region free. Includes interviews with the director and stars, as well as a short film that she did called Junior from 2011. That, again, is only the Curzon 4K. The Blu-ray from Neon, I couldn't really find any information about. Just that it's coming out. And a couple other things, Matt. I know you're a big fan. A couple Adam Sandler films being released in 4K. 51st Dates and Click. You can finally add those to your collection. And then Shout Select is putting out the Robin Williams film, What Dreams May Come, in 4K.
Very nice.
Matt, what's coming up next week on The Big Show?
Well, we have 2 options. We can either check out Toy Story 5, which is obviously the latest Toy Story, although we have skipped several Pixar releases. I think we've at least 3 or 4 of them. Or we can watch The Death of Robin Hood.
What are you leaning towards? Or the Furious will probably be gone by the time, huh?
Yeah, I was thinking. I thought you were more interested in seeing The Death of Robin Hood, so I was leaning that way because I thought it was something you were particularly interested in seeing.
I was, but now I'm kind of on the fence too, because I guess they reworked the legend where he actually never stole from the rich and gave to the poor. He actually stole and kept the money. And he was just a bad guy generally, but appears to be drawn out of retirement for one last thing to protect the village or something like that. I'm open to it. There's nothing else really jumps out at me that's going to be playing around here outside of that, especially since the Furious looks like it is gone already. I did see it. I'm going to pocket that, though, so Matt and I can talk about it maybe at a later date. That is the latest martial arts film. It's getting rave reviews, so at some point we'll catch up with it. I guess, Matt, we'll leave it up as a surprise for the folks about Toy Story 5 or The Death of Robin Hood. In the meantime, check us out at thefirstrun.com. You can find archives of all the old shows. The report card is there. There's a little player that just starts playing episodes for you. How cool is that? And more. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Blue Sky. Do a search for The First Run. Scroll. Eventually you'll find us. Matt and I are both on Letterboxd as well. I should be under Chris Scalzo, or search for The First Run. Matt is under Thurston. Just search for that. You should be able to find him. And is that it? I feel like there's something else. Oh, yeah. Head on over to Apple Podcasts. Give us a review. It'll help other people find the show and help get the word out there. And that's that. We're going to go ahead now and take an extended break. Please know that we love you all very much. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you again soon.
Could you turn that racket down? I'm trying to iron in here.